Don't make the whites mad. Don't make the whites mad. Don't make the whites mad. Some of the whites, some of the whites, some of the whites, some of the whites, they're not right. Just run away with me, darling. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up now because it's free. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. This is my series of Joleen Reacts where I react to things on the interwebs. A lot of times they're videos. But if you guys have something you want me to react to, feel free to email me. JoleenReacts@gmail.com. And follow me on all the social medias, that being Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Joleen Lunzer. And if you are on TikTok, throw me a follow because your girl is under 100 followers because I'm just trying to get in this TikTok game. Just about to turn 41, about to get in this TikTok game. Okay, you guys, that's where I am at in my comedy career. You got TikTok, Joleen? You need TikTok. Everyone has TikTok. You got TikTok. Don't you TikTok? Everyone should TikTok. And now I'm trying to TikTok. So welcome back, everyone. Today we have a very special video I'm going to react to. Now, full disclosure, I have seen part of the video because I had to screen grab it, then upload it to my YouTube and put it on private so that we could watch it. I haven't seen the full video, but I've seen part of it. And if you guys follow me for my Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen videos, this video is with a certain someone from Big Brother, being Jeff Schroeder. You guys remember the old Schroedster? Yeah, he's been in a couple seasons of Big Brother. He now is a host on Daily Blast Live, which I believe is a nationally syndicated talk show. And, you know, Jeff has... He's had a past. He's had a past. I met Jeff while going to a taping of Big Brother seasons and seasons ago. He did an interview with me because they were interviewing people in the audience about the show. I thought I killed it. Jeff looked a little uncomfortable. I was definitely pushing maybe past his comfort level. He was just starting to learn how to host. So I think he was like, who is this creepy girl who has a lot of excitement and is just throwing punchlines at me? That was me. That was me, Jeffer. And then they were supposed to put that information on CBS.com and they never did. So I never got my famed time on CBS.com, the closest to Big Brother fame I've ever had. All I remember of Jeff Schroeder meeting him in person is that he smelled nice and he was pretty tall. We are going to react to a video that was recently on Daily Blast Live. As you can see, the Schroedsters right here next to me does not look happy. Does not look like a happy Jeff. In the middle is the wonderful, hilarious Al Jackson, who I had the privilege of touring with in Europe in 2016. We got to do all this cool stuff and go perform for the troops all over Europe. It was amazing. But let's play it and see what happens.
Is wearing mittens and he's white privileged?
A teacher in San Francisco is calling him out, saying that the image shows his white male privilege, explaining that no woman would get away with dressing down like that at the inauguration.
I hate the word white privilege.
Well, first of all, was the Burnster necessarily dressed down? He's wearing dress pants, he's wearing dress socks, and dress shoes. All he's doing is keeping warm. So that might be a stretch. But if you know Bernie, this is how Bernie dresses. He's a slacks guy. He usually always has a suit and tie. It's not the latest trend, but we don't expect that from the Burnster. And I mean, the mittens, you guys, the mittens were made by a woman who supported him, and then he wore them, and then they blew up, and they were hitting this woman up, and she's like, whoa, 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 I just make mittens for fun and for Bernie Sanders.
I hate the word white privilege. I hate that. Diminishes all my accomplishments, which I set out in life to do, right? Don't look at me like with that face, because I'm telling you how I feel. Okay. And I'm just expressing my example. I'm not on a soapbox here. I'm not trying to rally people. I'm telling you, it diminishes my accomplishments. I've earned this seat, okay? My mother came here on a boat from Italy. What privilege do I have? I had a suburban life in Chicago. My father worked hard. I'm not a fourth generation, fifth, sixth generation legacy to a Harvard graduation. I've worked hard for what I've got. And to diminish it with the word white privilege, I don't appreciate. Yeah. I don't.
I don't think we've heard anybody speak that honestly on TV ever. I appreciate what you said.
Thank you. And
whether anybody at home agrees or disagrees, I appreciate the honesty. Go ahead, sir.
I do too. No, I appreciate you being transparent. And I never, ever, ever want to diminish how you feel. But taking you out of it, the most, the poorest white man still has more privilege than the richest black man. And that's just the truth of it all.
Jeff, let's just be honest, and I feel like we may actually be on the same page here. There is a space to acknowledge white male privilege. In fact, it is long overdue. However, I think putting it onto every single thing might dilute the message, let's say. I don't want to give, I don't want to dismiss what this woman has to say. Perhaps this is, an idea of white male privilege. I certainly have walked into spaces where I have been dressed either appropriately or feel like I have to be heightened in my decor, my dress, because I need to be taken seriously, where a white male could walk in and say, I'm here, that's enough. So yes, I understand that, but I think the Bernie Sanders example is just a little bit of a stretch to me.
The funniest part of this is Jeff took that, sure, break down the Bernie Sanders dress down, mittens outside during inauguration, being an example of white privilege. Break that down for what it is. Don't take that, internalize it to your own struggle, Jeff Schroeder, with being a white man in America and feeling as though white privilege in some way takes away from all your accomplishments. Now, I laugh, and I cry. I laugh and I cry because Jeff Schroeder has been given a platform that is so big, being a host on Daily Blast Live. And the fact that he still chooses to be willfully ignorant on what white privilege really is disappointing and is just so white privilege. He doesn't even have to do a basic Google search. He's still going with this tired narrative and definition that white privilege is somehow only correlated to what is in your wallet, to money, to monetary means, which is not the case at all. Any basic search of white privilege, any little bit of research that Jeff could have done, he would have found that white privilege really has nothing to do about that. A lot of people get up in arms about white privilege because they assume it's like, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I'm not rich. My parents were working class. I had to work for my stuff. Okay, calm it down. White privilege goes so much deeper than that. The white people that are so against white privilege, they internalize it and they become huge narcissists with it, where they put it directly on themselves. I won't agree to this white privilege or recognize it because it takes away from my accomplishments. Me. Notice how he me'd it? White privilege actually isn't that hard to understand and isn't that hard to accept because it's not a direct knock on you, Jeff Schroeder, or any other white person out there. It's just the acknowledgement that there are certain advantages to having this skin tone in the United States of America. Advantages such as I have never had to wonder or worry where I was going to get makeup for my skin tone. I have always been able to find hair products for my hair. I have always seen myself represented in entertainment, in music, in media, in movies. I have always learned about white people history. I have an overall, and I would say the majority of white people comparative to Black Americans have an overall positive interaction with the police. Our relationship that we have with the police is part of our privilege. How we are judged when we walk into a job interview. There's a lot of prejudice and bias that Black Americans have against them or Hispanic Americans have against them when they walk into these same job interviews. So that is part of our privilege. Privilege doesn't take anything away from your accomplishments. And recognizing that privilege exists is only going to get us further in breaking down and dismantling the internal biases that exist in our society. As long as we as white people just hold on to that and go,
no, I've worked so hard. I've had not one advantage. We're all on the same playing field.
We're not going to progress. And life is about progression. And with every year, with every day, with every minute, we should progress. We should get a little bit freaking better. But as long as Jeff Schroeder sits there with his suburban Chicago upbringing, like, my dad worked hard. My dad worked hard too. That doesn't take away from how hard your dad worked, Jeff. You have to stop internalizing this and making it somehow a knock against you. White privilege is not a knock against you. It's a systemic thing. It's something that we have to recognize so that we can move forward in a more positive and equitable direction. It's that simple. If white privilege wasn't a thing, why are you so scared of it? If it hasn't benefited you ever in your life, why are you so scared of admitting it? Could it be because you're scared of losing it? Because it has helped you along the way in your life? Literally, Jeff, the fact that you can be on this huge platform and never have been asked to educate yourself on the basics of white privilege is part of your white privilege. That you can just sit up there willfully ignorant. The fact that you can probably walk down the street or you can say comments like this, which I guarantee you've said, and I'm pretty sure I've heard you say before, is like, I'm just so sick of talking about race. The fact that you can take a break when white people go, I don't want it to be about race. Every season of Big Brother, we see this happen. Some white viewers are always like, oh my gosh, let's just like forget about the race. I don't watch Big Brother to deal with race issues. Wow, the privilege you have that you can just walk in and go, I'm going to turn it off. I'm just going to turn it off. Where people of color, they can't turn that off because that's a part of their daily life. And those things affect them. So it just frustrates me to see Jeff Schroeder sit up there and go, I hate that term. I hate white privilege. It's like, Jeff, you are the picture of white privilege. If we want to really break it down, Jeff, do you have a degree in journalism? At the time Jeff got cast on Big Brother, Big Brother is known for casting attractive white males like Jeff. You got a six-pack, you're white, maybe you're from the Midwest, maybe you're from the South. Hey, we'll throw you in there. It's a lot easier to get on Big Brother as a white dude than it is as a black man. We've seen that through the years, which is why this season they're pushing for more diversity finally. But just the fact that now Jeff has went from reality TV, where he had no experience in hosting, I think he was like a contractor, correct me if I'm wrong, or construction or something like that, like a very respectable job, but nothing having to do with television. But then he was pulled from obscurity and given all these opportunities to interview for CBS.com, to do their after shows. We all watched and we were like, are we really going to let Jeff Schroeder keep interviewing the incoming house guest, because he's really bad at this? So Jeff should be thanking the fact that he was allowed chance after chance and then taken from CBS all the way over to Daily Blast Live, where he is now an anchor on this show that he doesn't necessarily belong on. If you look at his co-hosts, you will see the difference in their skills compared to his skills. That's what I'm saying here. So a little bit of that, Jeff, might be part of your privilege. I know Jeff will hate to say that because that, was his whole fear. It's like, that takes away from anything that I have ever done, which makes me think he does maybe think that, there's a little truth to that. Otherwise, he wouldn't get upset. Because if someone came to me and was like, Joleen, the opportunities you've been given in stand-up comedy, which not that much, are because a little bit due to your white privilege, I might go, you know what, maybe. There were shows that I was led on where it's a lot harder for women of color to get on these shows, where I, as a white chick, just show up like, hey, hi, I'm funny and I'm white. And, especially when I was younger, being young and white on the stand-up comedy scene, it was like, come on in. Oh my God. Do you have friends? You can come in too. So I recognize that. That doesn't take away from my hustle at all. I just recognize that it's an easier path for me because of these advantages. Quit internalizing it. Quit letting it take away from your accomplishments, because it's not taking away from your accomplishments, Jeff. You're letting it take away from your accomplishments. So in conclusion, Jeffy Schroeder, just accept it. Don't get so angry. The more angry you get, the more we think, why is he protesting so much to this? So that's my thoughts on this video, guys. Hopefully you liked this Joleen Reacts. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up. Follow me on the social media at Joleen Lunzer on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also share this out on social media. Tag me in it. Share me with your friends. And I'll be back very soon with another Joleen Reacts. And until then, just accept your white privilege so we can all move the F on. Bye.